anything, and everything is recorded. You'll get a link. So first of all, I introduce myself. My name is Anat Goodman. I'm here in London, UK. I'm an educator for the past 20 years, a teacher trainer for the past 10 years. I have my master's in educational technology, and I work with Jewish Interactive. I'm the director of educational technology. I help teachers integrate technology into the classrooms and utilize iPads and do it in the right pedagogical way with focus on content and not on the technology. Today I'll be presenting and teaching you how to use JITAP, and the aim of the webinar is for you to get started immediately with, hopefully it's not too complicated, and just create games or be able to use what's on the app already and use it in your schools, or use the summer holidays to create some games for Rosh Hashanah, for the beginning of the next school year. So I'll go ahead and share my screen with you and show you the JITAP environment. I'm not so sure, but you may be familiar with TinyTap. It's an Israeli startup. It's a creation platform. It's an amazing app that a lot of teachers already use. And if you are familiar, then it's going to be really easy for you, because it's almost exactly the same as the platform of TinyTap, but with all the content of JI Studio and Jewish Interactive and some new content that we added in. So I'll share my screen with you. 1 second. Okay, so if you can see my mouse, this is the JITAP app. You download it at the moment only to iPad, iOS. It should be soon. Also a possibility to download it into an Android, but at the moment it's only to iPad, iOS. You can only create on an iPad. You can play on any device. You can play on an iPhone, any smartphone, any PC, Mac, anything, Android as well, but to create a game is only on an iPad for the moment. This is the main screen when you enter the app, and you can see at the bottom, on the green line, the bottom menu, you have the Discover, you have Play, Create, Feed, and Profile. So I'll start from the beginning. The Discover is where you'll find, this is like the home page of JITAP. So you'll find here all the apps and games and activities. It's not only games, by the way. It's a lot of interactive activities that teachers create. And in the home page, we are going to put the ones that we think would be most useful, or the ones that are designed very nicely, or the ones that we want to promote because we think it would help more teachers and more students. And it's divided according to rows. You can see Jewish general knowledge, Jewish holidays, texts, parasha, Ivrit, and you can scroll also to the side and see different games. For example, in the Ivrit, special needs, which is a very a good column to investigate, which is in collaboration with Bet Izi Shapira in Israel. It's a huge organization, institution for special needs kids. Trusted teachers, we are going to have more and more courses here. Just to say that this app was launched a month and a half ago in New York. And it's growing. The content is growing all the time, and the homepage will change all the time also. We'll have more courses, and we're getting feedback from teachers. They want parasha, and they want filot, and they want Ivrit in English, and Ivrit be'Ivrit. So everything is according to the needs of the teachers. We'll keep updating. And these are games at the bottom, that kids created. This is all in the Discover part. Up here, if you see in the search search part, if I click here, then I can search for something specific by name. You can search by name of a teacher. You can search, for example, Anat Goodman, that's my name, or Pesach. You can write it in any language. Well, not in any language, I think English and Hebrew. And you'll see all the games created for Pesach. So you can search for games, or you can just see in the home page specific games. Soon, if you can see up here where it says all ages, we will be able to filter. At the moment, it's only according to language and age, but we will be able to filter Orthodox, non-Orthodox, according to different categories, but this is not ready yet, but it will be in the future. What is very important to know is that all the games in JITAP are monitored. There is a person going through all the games uploaded to the cloud and checking that they are appropriate for Jewish educators. Now, checking that they are appropriate doesn't mean that they are accurate, or doesn't mean that they would fit a very Orthodox school, but there will not be any inappropriate games on JITAP. This is done every day. All the games are monitored, so you can feel that students can go on the app and create and be safe and not come across anything. Also in the web search engine, it's also filtered. So it's as safe as internet environment can be. So after going through the discover part, if I'll click here on the bottom green menu on the play, oops, I can see all the games that I downloaded from the cloud or the games that I created. This is my shelf with all the different games that I downloaded. And these games I can play, I don't even need internet, unless they have a YouTube thing in them. But otherwise, I don't even need internet to play my games once they are downloaded into my iPad. And I can also move them around. If I click, I can move. If you want to have some games ready in advance on your students' iPads, or if you're going to use specific games, you can move them around and see which ones are more important to you. And if you want to delete a game, you just click here on the pencil at the top and you delete a game. Now, every game that you create and upload to the cloud, you can download from any device using your profile, keep editing, keep changing and uploading and updating again. So I don't know if you are familiar with the JI Studio. This is a huge difference. Everything is cloud-based. And you can collaborate like this, because if you have one user, then two children or different students can collaborate on the same user, creating a game together, collaborating, updating, and you can use any device. You're not locked to one device because your profile goes with you to any device. Okay, so this is my shelf. And before I move on to create and show you how I'm going to create a game, I want to show you the other two. One is feed. Okay, so JITAP is built like a social network between Jewish educators. I have my profile. It's kind of like Facebook. And in the feed area, I can see who liked my games. I can see if somebody that I follow created something new, and I can see everything that people I follow created. You can always unfollow or follow. There isn't an ability to chat or communicate with other educators. So in this sense, it's not like Facebook, but it is in the sense that you know the other educators and you can choose to follow someone who does amazing games, or you think you can use their games. And it will all show up here in your feed. And in the profile, if I click here on the profile, after the webinar, I will share with you a very quick how to create a profile on JITAP. And you can see it's very easy to create a profile. It's basically just an email and the password, but the email has to be valid because you will need to confirm it within 30 days. So once I create a profile, it would be here, and under my profile, I would see who follows me, who I'm following, and under activities, it means games. In your profile, you can insert a website or something about you. You don't have to, and you don't also have to put an image. And I had a teacher ask me, how can I change the background of my profile? So this is done automatically according to the game, to the last game that you create. So the background would be according to the game that you create, and it would keep on changing. This is not under our control. If I scroll all the way down, I can log out here and log in as a different user. For example, if I work in a class with children, then I log in as a JI Tap Kid, or year 4 in independent school. So you can create different users. So I'm going to show you different games, and then we'll see how to create them. So let's look at this game, for example, created by a teacher in Manchester.
Can you read these sounds? Click on the circles to check your reading. When you're ready,
Mug. Mug. Can you read these sounds? Rag. Gag. Choose the odd one out. Kol hakavod. Gam doesn't end with a gimel. Gam ends with a final mem. Gam.
Okay, so you can see here on the side, the first screen I showed you was a soundboard. I'll teach you how to create one soon. And another soundboard, and then she had questions. Every game you can see how the game is built if you want to look really thoroughly into a game. Let's look at another game for Rosh Hashanah.
מילים לראש השנה, לחצו על התמונות והמילים, הקשיבו לשמם, וכשאתם מוכנים, לחצו על ה-V.
Okay, you can see here there is the music sound. If I click on it, I can stop the music. So even if you create a game and you insert music, the children can always take the music off. So this is another soundboard.
שופר, תפוח.
And then if I click on the V,
תפוח. תקיעת שופר. דבש.
so this is a very easy game. And if we'll see this game, for example, it's a bit more complicated.
להתחיל, לחצו על המסך. תקשיבו למנהגים ולחצו על התמונה.
Because the previous one was words, and this one is full sentences. They need to listen to what we do on Rosh Hashanah and click on the correct image. Let me go into one created for Hanukkah by a child.
Hi, I am Yene. Welcome to my Hanukkah game. Let's light the candles. Together. Touch the candles and put them in their place. You light me on the third night. You light me on the seventh night.
It's a very creative platform, and we'll see one for Megillat Ruth.
Megillat Ruth. Once there was a man called Elimelech. He was married to a woman called Naomi. They had 2 sons called Machlon and Chilion. They lived in Bethlehem. There was a famine in the land of Israel, so Elimelech took his wife and his 2 sons to Moab. Tap on the characters to learn their names.
Hi, my name is Naomi, and I'm married to Elimelech.
Okay, this is one more way. This one is a game about family to
היי,
teach.
שלום, זאת אני. קוראים לי שרון. רוצים להכיר את המשפחה שלי? לחצו על כל בני המשפחה, ובואו נלמד את שמם. כשאתם מוכנים, לחצו על המילה משפחה. זה אבא שלי. זאת אחותי הקטנה.
So this was to teach ze, zot, and the vocabulary of family members. And the same thing exactly done by a child. He drew his family, and he created the same game.
שלום, זאת המשפחה שלי. זה אני יהודה. זה אבא.
Okay, so in order to create the game, he really put a lot of emphasis on pronouncing correctly the sentence, זה אני, זאת המשפחה שלי, and he wants to say the words correctly because he's creating something.
איפה רותם? כל הכבוד.
And you have the ability to give feedback, negative and positive. And one last thing that I'll show you is with the tap and type.
בכל יום חמישי, לשירה יש חוג פסנתר, וליובל חוג ציור. השלימו את היום המתאים, ואז את הפועל בצורה המתאימה, חמישי.
So you can also create any space for the children to tap and type. It can be a sentence, it can be different options. It doesn't have to be only one option. You would just separate by comma. And these are the main different things. Now you can create activities to teach something new at home, and then like a flipped classroom kind of model, and then when the students come into class, you can discuss it, or you can see if they understood it. For example, this game here, Pesach Haggadah, is an amazing flipped classroom model. You can later go into my profile, into Anat Goodman, and see who I follow, and I really recommend you follow the same educators and see different kind of games they create and get ideas from them, because I don't know what the content that is most useful to you. It could be Sidur, Tfilah, it could be Ivrit, or so it really depends on the age that you teach and the content that you need. So let's go ahead and see how we create. In order to create, I'm going to click here on the plus, and automatically the creation packs come up. And I can scroll down and see the different creation packs. Now these get updated also very often. Of course, before the holidays, we'll have content that is related to the holidays. And we are going to have more content for all the parshiyot and more content according to needs of teachers. We are now really researching what are the different needs, and according to that, we will create more content. So if I go into, let's say if I'll go into Rosh Hashanah, I have different stickers, and sometimes I have words in Hebrew with the vowels, and at the top I have backgrounds. So if I tap on something, it would go onto my screen. Now if I'm trying to move it now, if I'm trying to move that pomegranate, I cannot, because the creation pack is still on my screen. So I'm going to tap on a few things until I don't need my creation pack anymore. Let's take an apple as well. And now I'm going to click back here on creation pack. See if I need one more thing. I'll go into Rosh Hashanah. I'll take the honey and that child. Okay, so once I tap away from the creation pack, anywhere on the screen, the creation pack will go away. If I want it back again, I'm going to tap on the smiley. You see the bottom menu here? The smiley, if I tap on it, the creation pack will come back. I can mix and match, of course, the different creation packs, and you can go in and see everything that we put so far. And it's very important also to know that everything is copyright free for teachers to use, which is not the same case if you create games using images from the web, and you may have copyright issues because not all the images are free to use. So once I have my screen, I can now just resize everything and create, for example, just going to do something very simple. I have my apple and my honey and my rimon. And let's say that this is my screen. When I'm happy with my screen, all I used at the moment is that smiley here from the creation packs. I can also insert a title if I want to by clicking here. I'll show you a second what happens. But let's say that this is my first screen. I'm going to click here on Add Activity. And then on Next. Once I click on Next, automatically this screen saves in my photo roll. So if I want to create more slides using the same screen, I don't have to recreate it again and again because it saves automatically in my photo roll. So I'm going to click here on Next, and I have all these options to add the interactive layer. I can either ask a question, tap and type, create a soundboard, shape puzzle. I'll show you the main 4 ones. I think we'll have time in this webinar. But at the moment, I'm going to use the Ask a Question one, which is very useful for educators. I have this record question. If I click it, I need to say my question. For example, tap on the honey. And now it tells me to mark my answer. I'm going to mark my answer. I'm going to tick here on V if I'm happy with the answer. If not, I can move it wherever I want. But this is the hotspot. This would be the answer. So if I make a mistake when I create the game, the answer would be a mistake. When I click on V, my question is here. And if I want to tap on it, I can choose to add a positive feedback and negative feedback. For example, great job. This is the honey. Dvash. Try again. And then I'll click on done, and I can add question, as many questions as I want. איפה התפוח? Again, I'm going to mark my answer, tick on the V. You see that my screen is going quicker than the... And then add another question, last one. Where is the pomegranate? Going to tick on V. Just it goes slower the online. I'm going to stop sharing in a second and do it again. So, okay, now I clicked on done. And in order to see my game, I'm going to click here on play and see what it looks like.
Tap on the honey. Great job. This is the honey. Dvash. איפה התפוח? Where is the pomegranate?
So this was a very, okay, I'm going to stop share and start sharing again. because it goes very slowly for some reason. Okay, so this is my game, and when I finish playing it, I get a score immediately. I have immediate feedback, and in order to continue editing, I click here on the pencil, and I can add now another slide to my game. Can add as many slides as I want. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my camera. I'll put this here. I'll go here into my camera and get an image from my photo roll. I'm going to use the same image that I created before. I told you it saves automatically. So here it is. If I double tap it, I have all these options. I'm going to turn it into background. I can add something into it or just use it as it is. Let's do add activity next. And I'll use the tap and type for this one. It tells me to mark my hotspot, so I'm going to draw it. And if I click on the plus, I can record and write the answer. I need to write the answer, so the answer is Dvash. And I'm going to say, type in Dvash. Okay, if I'm going to double tap here on the green pencil, it will create the exact same shape for me. I don't have to do it, I can redo it with my hand like that. Or double tap here and it will do the exact same shape for me. I'll tap here and write Tapuach. Type in Tapuach. Okay, and this one, Rimon. Rimon. Done. This one also, if you can see the gear, whenever you have the gear on top, it gives you the ability to record an intro or to see more options. Type in the different words. So I'll click on done. I'm going to now move it to be first. And see what it looks like. Type in the different words. Rimon. Okay, so, and this is what the game looks like. So, do you want to try and create something very small with asking a question and with tap and type and see how it works? And if you have any questions, going to unmute you. And if you have a question.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so I started to create one and by accident, I closed the app. How do I get back to one that I created? How do I get back?
You go into the play. I'll show you 1 second.
I go into play. And there I see everything.
And there
okay.
it's there. Okay.
I see. Okay.
Also, sometimes you create a game and you see I have the later here. Okay, so the game is here in my play on the shelf. You can, as an educator, as a teacher, create a lot of games that you are going to use next year and only upload them to the cloud before you want the children to access them. You don't have to upload them immediately.
Gotcha.
But if you do, you can always update and change and then upload them. It would update automatically. So
one more question. How do I, if I chose 2 Rimonim by accident, how do I delete one?
Okay, good question. You just touch it with your finger and you throw it. And you throw it off the screen. Let's see if I can show you. I'll get
Where is the honey?
Share screen.
Okay,
Did you manage?
no, because it's asking me to add a question, which I don't want to do. I want to get rid of that dialogue, and I want to get back to
Okay.
the
So
image.
I'll tell you what's happening.
Sorry.
Okay, no, you're right. Okay. So when I create a game, let's say I do something, I have this screen, okay? So there are two stages. The first stage is to create a screen, and the second stage is to add the interactive layer. So once I create a screen and I choose add activity, now my option is to only add a layer. If you want to now go back and change the screen itself, the image, you will need to click here on the pencil. Click here on the pencil. I'll click later. I'll click here later. And I'll click on the pencil. And here it's now edit image.
Ah,
And then I can grab my image and I can throw.
gotcha.
I just throw whatever I don't want off the screen.
Gotcha.
So if you want to try and just create a simple question, ask a question activity, and see if you manage to do it, or if you have any questions. If you want me to give you like specific examples. Tap on the word modeh. Well done. ענת נוסע. התאימו את המילים לפריטים שבתוך המזוודה. Nava, do you have the app in your on your iPad? Hold on. I'm unmuting you. Sorry, yes, do you?
What are you asking me? I'm sorry.
I'm asking if you have the JI Tap app on an iPad so you can play around and see if it works.
I have it on a laptop.
On a laptop, I see. Okay, so you would need an iPad to create a game. At the moment on a laptop, you can only play a game, not create. And by the way, there will be on the on Jewish Interactive's website, which is jewishinteractive.org, lots of very easy how-to clips. They should be on, I think, in like 2 weeks, and we'll share links with you so you can get the clips as well as the recording of this webinar. And of course register for another webinar, and hopefully it would help you get started.
I'm going to be in Eretz Israel in a week for 2.5 weeks. Where can I meet? It's in Israel also, no?
I'm also going to be in Eretz Israel in a week and a half. You can contact me if you want. Then
there's a number here to reach?
There is my email is Anat@Jewish Interactive, ANAT.
You're not going to give us all this information in the end, like you said?
I'll give you all this information. I'll send you an email. You'll have my email and the webinar link and everything.
Okay. So, because I didn't bring paper. Now I have paper and pad. Okay. So you're leaving in a week and a half, and I'm leaving in a week.
Yes. Did you all manage to create? Somebody wants to share your manage? Great. This is great. Okay.
And then I go, oh, what happened?
So why don't I see it?
I keep closing it by accident.
Oh, okay.
Okay, see, I have 5 more viewers. I'm going to give them the option to communicate as well. How do I share the app with my students if I want them to do it for homework and therefore are using it on different devices? Okay, so I didn't show you how to share the app yet, but I'll definitely show you how to do it. So is it okay if we continue to the next interactive layer and then you can ask more questions and try something different? I want to show you this one, this activity. 1 second. I'll share my screen again. Okay, so this is an activity where you have to match words to images. So kafkafim would go here.
משקפי שמש. משקפי שמש. משקפי שמש. מגבת. הביטו במחסן המילים ורשמו את המילים המתאימות במקום הנכון.
So this is step and type, which I showed you.
מה שייך למה? הקשיבו למילים ובחרו חורף או קיץ. מילה ראשונה. מגפיים.
I have to tap on the חורף and not on the מגפיים.
נכון מאוד. אנחנו נועלים. שימו את המילים במקום המתאים.
Okay, so in order to create a matching game, I need to use, I'm going to create, I need to use the cut shape puzzle interactive layer. Let's take, for example, ארבעת המינים. We'll take אתרוג, הדס, לולב, and ערבה. Okay, let's say these are my ארבעת המינים. And סוכה. I'll take a nice background, maybe this one. Let's go this one. Okay, so if I'm happy with my screen, I can resize. If I double tap on something, I can duplicate. Or I can flip it if I wanted to face the other direction. I don't need something, I'm going to throw it away. I'll take another ערבה, duplicate, I'll put it here. Another הדס, duplicate, I'll put it here. Okay, and I'm going to click on Add Activity. Next. Now I'm going to choose the Cut a Shape puzzle. Cut a Shape puzzle to do the matching activity that I showed you. And it tells me to cut where I want, hold on 1 second. I'm going to add words from the collections because we have words for that already. So I went back to the slide and I'm going to add words, ארבעת המינים, אתרוג, לולב, ערבות, והדסים. Okay, putting the etrog on top of the etrog. לולב. ערבות, והדסים. Okay, if this is my screen, I'm going to click on Done, Save, and now add activity and cut a shape puzzle. I'm going to cut the word Hadasim. You notice that when I create the screen, it has to be as if the puzzle is already solved. So the screen has to be as if the puzzle is already solved. I'm going to put the Hadasim on the side. If I double tap here on the pencil, it's going to create exactly the same shape for me. And I can move it here, for example. Put the Aravot here. Double tap again and take the Lulav. Double tap here, move it here, and take the Etrog. So my words are at the bottom, and this is my activity. I have the gear. The gear means that I can give it instructions and choose also 3D shapes with hints, easy mode. So put the words in the correct place. I'll give an instruction, and this is what it looks like.
Put the words in the correct place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this was a cut shape puzzle. Of course, you can create a puzzle like a normal puzzle if you want to. If I'll take this one, I'll do the same thing. I'll just create a puzzle for a maybe younger age. It can be with words, without words. And if I'll just cut a shape puzzle, I can just move it and put it wherever I want, and it's just a normal puzzle. The other one I did as a matching activity, but you use the same interactive layer, which is shape puzzle. So this one I'm not going to use, and in order to delete the slide, I'll click on the pencil and delete the slide. Yes. Okay, and I'll take the opportunity and show you how to upload the game to the cloud. So I'm going to give it a name here, where you see where it says game's name. I'll write ארבעת המינים. You can give the name in English or in Hebrew, it doesn't matter, and I'll click here on the upload. Also, before I do it, I can add music to my game if I want to. You have different options. And just because something plays doesn't mean that the music automatically would be inserted into my game. I have to really double tap and have this cassette from many years ago appear. And then if I click done, the music will be there. So, and again, the pupils can take the music off. They don't have to have it. I'm going to click here on upload. And I have this screen. So I have the name, which I can now change if I want to just by tapping here. In the description, this is really important for yourselves. You can put here, first of all, you can put a link to a website or your email or your name. But it's very important to put something that would make it easy to find. So I can put Sukkot. ארבעת המינים, and I can also put Sukkot if I want in English. Whatever I put, afterwards, people can search in the Discover menu and find this game. You can do it in a second when I upload it. When I'm ready, I have all these options. I can keep it open for editing. Even if it's open for editing and you change the game on your iPad, it's not going to change it online. So it would only be edited on your iPad. If I keep it open for editing, and I really encourage you to leave it open for editing, because the same way we like to use other educators' resources, it's nice to allow others to use ours, and you can just change the language or the accent and make it more suitable for yourselves. In the Hebrew, I can choose if it's Hebrew or Jewish holidays or parasha, special needs. So this one is Ivrit, and it's in Hebrew. And the age also, I can choose different games, and then I'll click Save Game. And the game will be uploaded in a second. And once it is, you are now able to download it. First of all, I can share a link. If I'll click on the envelope, I can share this link in a newsletter or on a website, on a blog or anything. I can also share through social media if I want to. And also you can tell the children to go into the Discover part and search here, like I did Pesach before, search Arbaat Haminim. You can do it now on your iPad and find this game and play this game. And this is how easy it is to share. It's instant, immediately. So I know a lot of teachers, once they discover this platform, especially if they didn't know TinyTap, they like creating and they like doing things. But it's important to allow your students to create games and to share it with real audience and to share it with their parents, because you take learning out of the classroom and out of the time that you teach it. And you really let them engage with the content also beyond school hours. So this is how you share. So you want to go ahead and create a matching game or a puzzle and see if you have questions. I'm going to see if there are any chat. Liat, do you want to say something?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You might want to just a second. Turn yours down. Just a second. I'm sitting next to someone. Before you said something, and your voice kind of cracked, so I didn't understand. That in JITab, which is different from TinyTab, something with the cloud, that the students, can they work together on one game? Is that what you were saying?
The students can work together on one game if you use, for example, if we create an email for a webinar at gmail.com, and we have a password and we create a profile like that. Mm-hmm. So you can now download the game into your iPad, log in as webinar@gmail.com, and continue editing the game. It would be as if we use the same user to collaborate on one game.
I see. Okay. Okay. Good.
Let me just see. Okay. Maybe you should mute yourself because...
yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
All right, so I'm going to show you one more very important difference between JITap and TinyTap, if you know it. And this big difference is, I need to share my screen first. 1 second. Anat, do you know how to mute yourself?
Am I mute?
No.
On the bottom left of your screen, there is a little microphone.
Okay, great. AirPlay. Okay, I want to show you another difference. I'm going to click on Create again. And I'm going to tap away in the screen so the creation pack go away. And I'll click here on the Aleph and the A. And this comes up. So now I have 3 options in order to insert any kind of text into my game. I can type in whatever I want in any language that I have on my iPad. So I can type in Arbat, Aminim, Me'et, Anat Goodman. Or if I have already text or a story or reading comprehension or something that I want to insert into a game and it's in my on my computer, you can use Drive and just open the Drive from your iPad, copy everything and paste it in this field just by tapping with your finger and choose paste. Just copy paste anything from your iPad. I use Drive all the time, Google Drive. I have the app, and if I have different texts or PowerPoints ready or Google Docs ready, I'm just copy and pasting. And another option.
Anat, does that transfer Nikud with it too?
Yes, yes.
It puts everything in the right place?
Everything in the right place.
Okay.
And also, personally, I have another app that has nothing to do with Jewish Interactive. It's called Davka Nikud, which you can download and insert as a language. You can see here. So you can lenaked each word, but it's very annoying. So I really recommend using stuff that you already have and just copy paste, unless it's one word and you know how to use the vowels correctly. So you can do, for example, otherwise it's very time consuming. Abba. But you can copy paste with the vowels. So you either type in or you paste from your Drive. And another thing that we have, it's here, Safaria, if you see where my mouse is. And if I click on Safaria, you have all the Jewish texts. Now at the moment it's only the Tanakh, it's only Torah, Nevi'im, Ktuvim. But it will be also Siddur and the Tfilot and everything. I don't know if you know the online Safaria website, but everything that's on the website will also be in the app. At the moment, it's only that, which is not so little. I'll click on Torah, for example. On top here, I can choose Ivrit or English. And if I'll click on Bereshit, I can choose according to Parshiyot or according to chapters. So let's say I'll go into Perek Aleph, I'll choose the first pasuk and tick V, and the pasuk is in my game. If I'll double tap on it, I can select the whole paragraph, and now I can edit, make it bold, change the color. For example, I can make it light blue. And go into my creation packs, go into Parashat Bereshit, and get that black background. And I'm going to now go into the magnifying glass. The magnifying glass sends me to a web engine, and I can look for Earth. I can choose transparent or animated. I'll go to the animated one. And let's see, download something into my game. Again, you have to be aware of copyright, file size limit, so try this one. Okay. And I have that. I'm going to make it select paragraph. And this could be my first sprint, for example. If I'll click now on Add Activity, I can teach Parashat Bereshit using this screen. I can say, very important one, we didn't do this one, create a soundboard. I'll click on Create a Soundboard, and this asks me to mark the hotspot where I want the students to tap, and I can insert any sound or word that I want to. So I'll tap on this one. I'll click on the plus. Bereshit. I can create as many soundboards as I want. Haaretz. Okay. You can teach reading or psukim, hashamayim. Again, I could mark the entire pasuk all together and create one pasuk. I don't have to do word by word. Tap on the different words and listen to the way they are pronounced. Okay, done. And this is what it looks like. Tap on the different words and listen to the way they are pronounced. Bereshit, Hashamayim, Haaretz. So this is a soundboard that I can create. Okay, when this comes up, I'm going to click on Later. And I want to show you one game that was created by a teacher in Canada to teach the Arbaat Minim. And notice what she did is she created a soundboard, and in the soundboard you have an option. I'll show you 1 second. In this game, I'll go into editing. You have an option from every hotspot. My screen is different than yours. Stop share, 1 second. I'll share again. This is really important. Okay, so if I'll click on the pencil, I have this jump to page. So I can create front, like a content page, and each part would send the children to a different page in the game. And I'll show you what I mean by showing you this game.
לכל אחד מארבעת המינים יש תכונות מיוחדות, ויחד הם מסמלים את עם ישראל. בואו ונלמד יחד על ארבעת המינים. לחצו על כל תמונה בנפרד כדי ללמוד עוד מידע.
Okay, so she created a soundboard, and once I click it, she did jump to page that would give me more information.
אתרוג. האתרוג הוא פרי ממשפחת ההדר שצורתו דומה ללב. לאתרוג יש טעם ויש ריח, והוא מסמל אנשים שלומדים תורה ועושים מעשים טובים. לכל אחד מארבעת המינים יש תכונות מיוחדות, ויחד הם מסמלים את עם ישראל.
Okay.
בואו ונלמד יחד על ארבעת המינים.
So you can see here, the first one is a soundboard. Each one sends her, this is the jump to page symbol. Each one sends her to a different page, and from each page, she sends herself back to the original page. And children can learn about Arbaat HaMinim and what they symbolize at home, and then they can come to class and maybe show their learning or create something. It's also in the flipped classroom model. So you can go ahead and create a soundboard if you want to, and see what it looks like. Or ask me questions if you need to.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, so once I've created something and I go back to edit it, and if I want to jump to and create a second page, that's Ki'ilu, a second game that I'm linking to, correct?
It's not a second game, it's in the same game, a second slide.
So, and how do I create that second slide? That's
okay. I'll show it. I'm going to click on create. Let's say I'm creating this first slide.
But okay, or even from one what you've started, you've finished. Like if I have one that I finished, but I want to then add a second page.
Okay, so I'll go on to the one that I did before, and I'll.
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, this Arbat Aminim one.
Right.
I'm going to click here on the top left, and then on the pencil. Okay, mine goes faster than the online screen. But if you click here, a pencil would show up. And if you click on the pencil, it allows you to edit and add another slide. Stop share and share again.
Oh, I think. Match game.
Okay, so you see if I click there, I have this pencil, and when I click on the pencil, I'm in this screen where I can now add as many slides, as many photos into one game, as many as I want. And as you can see, it says shape puzzle, but if I want to change the image altogether, I would go to this pencil, and now it would say edit image. So it depends what you want to change. You want to change the image, or you want to change the activity altogether?
Or if I want to add another page, another...
Okay, if you want to add another page, so I'm going to click on the pencil again, and I'll just here, add photo, and you can add another page to your game.
Oh, so the photo, that means it's another slide.
Yes.
That's what that means.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And how do you add music again to the slide?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm asking all these questions.
It's wonderful. Thank you for asking questions. When I'm in this screen, I'm going to click here on the music symbol, and I can choose to have music, or if I want no music, I would scroll all the way to the end and double tap on no music, put the cassette next to no music, and click on done. And let me show you one more thing. I can also make it into a competitive game. If I'll click here on the game, on the trophy, I have the ability to challenge mode game. And then if I tap on activity, I can choose how many seconds per activity. Let's say it's 3 seconds. It goes all the way to 30, depends how generous you are. Wrong answer limit. Also, you can choose between 3 to, I think, 1 to 30. So also depends. And you can always change it. Even if it's on game mode, you can change it later. And this is what it looks like.
Put the words in the correct place.
Okay. Okay, I see that the music doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to click here on the music, and yeah, it's next to Hanerot Halalu for some reason. I prefer this one. I'll leave it here, and now I can play it again.
Put the words in the correct place.
Can we bring in other music?
What you can do, you cannot bring in other music to accompany the entire game. Like you have the options here. If there is something that is very, very crucial for you as a Jewish educators, you can send us an email and maybe we can add it to the different options, for example, tefillah or different things for the chagim, for the holidays. But what you can do, I'll show you what I did. It's like the game of Hanukkah that I showed you before. There was the Hanukkah music. Also here there is music. I just put the iPad next to my laptop and had the music on. So you can use your laptop, but it would be as background for the activity. It won't be for the entire game.
So it's being recorded through your microphone?
Yes, yes.
Gotcha. I have another question.
Yes.
I am wondering, I noticed when you brought in the pasuk from Sefaria, even though in Sefaria it had Ta'ameh HaMikra in it, when you pasted it, it did not. So as someone who has students who are learning to read Torah, it would be interesting for me to give the feedback for you that it would be nice to have a way to bring it in with the trope with it.
Are you referring, is this not the correct one?
Yes, but when I had it open on my screen, it has Ta'ameh HaMikra in it. It has the Torah trope. But yours, in the actual Sefaria.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It has Ta'ameh HaMikra.
Okay.
I would like to be able to put that on a page.
Okay.
With the trope with it.
Okay, so this is great feedback, and I know that because everything is in process and is new, and it's very recent that we have Nevi'im Ktuvim. We only had Torah. Everything that's on the website will also be in the app.
So also to let you know that it would be great to have a teacher pack of some sort related to Ta'ameh HaMikra.
A teacher's pack with Ta'ameh HaMikra, okay.
Because I've done it myself from little graphics, but it's what I have, I'm taking it from teeny tiny graphics. So by the time I put them where they need them, they don't look so good.
Okay, so I'm going to send you a small feedback for this webinar with important and very valuable comments that you have that we can learn from and improve. And this will be a great comment to insert there.
Okay, great.
Anybody else wants to ask something? If not, I'm just going to quickly show you one more option that you have. First of all, at the bottom menu, as you can see, you can either insert text, go to the creation packs. In the teacher's pack, you have different layers and backgrounds that you can use for mixing, matching, or using it really nicely. This one, to go into the web, I showed you. The camera you can use as camera for the iPad, or go into your albums and get images from your iPad. And also, if you tap here in the middle,
bring them in as images.
You can draw with your finger and use it also in a game. And I noticed that none of the teachers ever use this option, including myself. But kids, it's the first thing that they would use. So just know that you have this option as well. And I wanted to show you, I'll just take any screen. And Shabbat, okay. If I'll go into Add Activity next, another option that I have is to play a video. Play a video. I would just insert a URL from YouTube. It has to be a YouTube, and you can put the video in the game. So this could be like a start off, look at the video, and then you could ask questions or relate to the video if you want to. This is another option that you have. And the last one is Say Something. Say Something is reading or, yes?
I thought you wanted us to say something.
Oh, no. I want to show you what the say something is. This is, for example.
This is how I think when he's a little boy. One day, Akiva decided to go water dripping on a rock. Oh, strange. Akiva thought, if water can make a hole in a rock, so can I learn the Torah.
Okay, so what this boy did, he just said something. He used the reading, he created slides and he showed his learning, and then he combined it with the soundboard and questions at the end. So this is also a very nice activity that you can have students create. I think this is pretty much sums the different abilities that JITAP has. And I'm going to stop sharing. And just to tell you that you will have an option if you want to try out and see what works, what doesn't, to first of all send me an email and go on to another webinar, more into depth, creating games together. And we will be, hopefully soon, have trainers to go into your schools and be there with teachers face-to-face and helping teachers create and learn more. And if you have any questions, then I'm happy to answer. Somebody?
Can we email you when we're playing with this, if we have questions that come up?
Absolutely, yes, yes. I'll send all the participants in this webinar the link to this webinar and my email and the short feedback form so we can learn and improve. And absolutely, you can email and ask questions or anything.
May I have again your email, please?
It's Anat, A-N-A-T, at
Yes.
JewishInteractive.net.
Interactive.net. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Okay.
For you, it's a good evening. Yes. Call to. Bye.
Call too. Bye-bye.
Bye.